everyone, welcome to the first of the 2009 Teen Reading Club Moderator Training Screencasts. This particular one, we hope we can show you the basics of moderating new books. To submit a new book, teens have to search the book list to make sure the book isn't there already. Then they have the option of adding a book when they don't get any return search results. So teens often submit a review with their book, and we'll look at moderating reviews in the next screencast. Right now though, we'll talk about where to go to approve books, how to see what books are waiting for you, and then we'll look at 2 books that a teen has submitted and approve them for the website. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of moderating books though, just like to say that quite a few things on the site are going to look a little bit different once you're on it. We're still working on some of the content and the menus and stuff, so please don't be concerned if things are a little bit different. It'll all work the same way it does in the screencast. So now, sick again of looking at my face, I'm going to get rid of it and we'll get on with the show. So let's say today is your day and you're keen as anything. So you go to the front page of the TeenRC site. The first thing you do is log in with your username up here and your password, and then you click go. Click go. Then you wait for the page to load. Then, see this menu over on the right? There are 2 options there, approve books and approve reviews, and those are going to be your home base. So always start with the approved books. If you start with the approved reviews, you might approve reviews without having books attached to them, and then things get messy. So I'm going to click on approved books. There are only a couple of books in the queue at the moment. When you go to check, there will probably be many more, and the list will contain all of the books that are awaiting approval, not just those belonging to your genre. Now I'm going to show you how to limit what you see to the genres you signed up for. First, I'm going to check for animal books. I select Animals from the genre list and click Apply. Okay, nothing there. So no new books have been submitted for that genre. Now I'm going to check for Canadian books. I select Canadian from the list and click Apply again. Okay, now I have 2 books, both of the ones submitted by Hurley Burley. Always start at the top, looking at the oldest book first. Let's pause for just a second and list the criteria we're going to use for moderating the books. 1. Uniqueness. We check for duplicates. Age appropriateness. We make sure it's not a book for kids. Last year we had a section called Kids Books Teens Love, but we genuinely want this to be a teen space this year, so we'll be more strict than we have been in the past. To make that process of dealing with younger books a little bit easier for you, we've made up a series of templates that you can use to send a book back to a teen. We'll talk more about those templates in a different screencast because chances are you won't need them very often. The rest of the criteria need less explanation. We'll look at them in more detail in a little bit. Format, length, spoilers, personal information, and inappropriate language. Okay, let's go back to the books. So, first thing we check is duplicates. We look and see if it's already on their website. In our case, the books are analogous to bibliographic records, and as with the library catalog, we want to avoid duplicates. So we do that by searching the website for books that are already in the book lists. Because I'm in Firefox, I can open a new tab by right-clicking on the book list link at the top of the page, selecting Open in a New Tab. So I'll click Open Link in New Tab, then I'll go to that tab. Perfect. So now I'm going to search for that title. I'm going to type in Flying Troutmans, hit Enter. Okay, so because there aren't any search results, it means it's not there, so that's a good sign. I'm going to go back to my other tab, and we're back at the book. So, we talked about age appropriateness for younger kids, but what about books for older readers? If a book seems like it's more for adults than it is for teens, ask yourself if a precocious high school student would read this book. The first book on our list, The Flying Troutmans, is more of an adult book, but I can imagine some high school students really enjoying it. To date, we've never rejected a book for being too old, but if you see something that might qualify, please let us know. Next, we can check the format of the title, author, and series fields. In this case, they need a bit of editing. The title and author are in lowercase. I edit the book by clicking on the title first. Then I can click on the Edit tab. And then I can change the title and author so that they conform with our very exacting standards. So, The Flying Troutman's Miriam Taves. There we go, Miriam Taves. Doing the title and author in proper format like this keeps the book list looking tidier. So while I'm here and before I save my changes, I can check the other parts of the book too. Next up, I'm going to look at length. The description should be at least 2 to 3 sentences long or one very clear sentence. The description shouldn't be more than 2 paragraphs long. And if the one that's there is kind of crappy, please replace it with a different one. Sometimes Amazon.ca or similar websites have a succinct product description that you can use, and if not, the publisher's website usually does. This one looks good. We also check for spoilers. In this case, it doesn't look like the teen is giving away the ending or any key plot points. She's not saying who kisses whom. And then we can check for personal information. Sometimes teens like to attach a signature or other information to their books. This teen has written Peace Patty at the end of the description, so we're just going to delete that little bit. Now we do a quick scan for inappropriate language, including swear words, racist, sexist, homophobic language, none of which is permitted. If you've got something that you're wondering about, please let us know or ask for help. Fortunately, it doesn't happen very often. You'll likely never come across it. And for the most part, spelling and grammar don't matter. If there's a glaring typo in a book's description, though, please fix it. It's not necessary to do so for the reviews, where we really let teens post whatever they like. But we can be a little bit more careful with the descriptions. So in this case, I'm going to edit the word thought at the end of the description so that it's spelled correctly. No big deal if things slip through, though. Okay, so we worked through our criteria and everything looks good, so I'm going to approve the book now. I can do that by scrolling down to the bottom of the page and toggling the approved option from the book and review publication options. And then I click save. Hooray! Now we're back at the queue and we can sort again by the genre. Yes, unfortunately you have to do that every time you return to this queue. So I'm going to click Canadian and apply. So, I can see that by toggling that approve button, I've updated the list and the Flying Troutmans is no longer in the queue. There's one other book though, called Weather and Weatherly Bees. Let's go through our steps. Check to see if the book is already on the site. We still have, we still have another tab open, so go back there and type in Weatherly. And there's nothing there, so we're in the clear. So we'll go back to the queue. Now I check for appropriateness. I haven't heard of this book, but the description mentions a high school student, so that sounds good. Length, we've got one very descriptive sentence there, so that's fine. There aren't any spoilers, there's no personal information, and definitely no inappropriate language. Great, so everything looks good. Let's check the box next to it and select Approve Content from the drop-down list. And then select the Execute button. And then we confirm, yes, we do want to do this. And now our queue is clear. Now, just to check, I'm going to mosey on to the front page of the site. Do that by clicking the top logo. If I scroll down to New Books, sure enough, there's Weather and Weatherly Bees, and just below it, The Flying Troutmans. We've added those 2 books to the site, and now they're ready for reviews. Well, that's it for this screencast. We talked about where to go to moderate books, how to limit the list of books you see, and what to watch out for when you're approving them. If you have any questions, especially if something in the screencast is unclear, please email us, info@teenrc.ca. Thank you for watching, we hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope you'll continue on with the review screencast next.